best day of the season.
Williams is hitting .399.55.
Joe Cronin came to me in Shy Park and he said, Dad, you don't even have to play today. He said, officially you're 400.
And Williams says, I don't want to hit 400 sitting in the dugout.
It was the last single thing that ever would enter my mind to not play the last game.
He played the last day of the year in a doubleheader and had 6 hits and 8 times up and wound up with an average of 406.
The story is as famous, as legendary as Ted Williams himself, the last man in Major League history to hit 400. It hasn't happened in 50 years. So in this golden anniversary of the kid's achievement, we wondered, can it ever be done again? Volumes of research reveal the answer is a very positive, probably not.
The reason being specialized pitching.
You got so much attention, not only from you people, but from the radio, the print media, magazines, and fellas want to do books on you and things like that.
And I suppose the travel schedule, a lot of other things work against today's players.
All those obstacles aside, some say there is a minute chance that 400 could be achieved again. In the game today, there are a handful who arguably have the ability. Don't forget the luck factor. Wade Boggs has played in Williams' Fenway shadow for 10 seasons. As Williams was, Boggs today is considered by many the best pure hitter in the game. But the 5-time batting champ doubts that 400 is reachable.
Well, I look back at my 85 season when I had 240 hits and 100 and so walks, 110 walks, and still only hit 368. So I asked myself, what more do I have to do? I mean, 280 hits and 120 walks or something like that. So it's a lot more difficult than people think.
Several variables contributed to Williams' 400 season. He was hurt on more than one occasion. It's easier to pump up the average with fewer at-bats. He also had a phenomenal number of walks. Since 1941, Kansas City's George Brett has come the closest to hitting 400. His 1980 season was plagued by injuries, and that helped his cause.
I only played 117 games, which definitely increased my chances of doing it. Ended up at 390. If I would have played 155, 160 games, I doubt if I would have been up that high.
Brett was hitting 400 into late September before he tailed off. The media crush was frightening, a factor Williams didn't have to deal with.
I'd have news conferences every day, half hour before the game, half hour after every game, and it kind of wore you down a little bit. I've never said that's the reason why I didn't hit 400, because I was able to block that out once the game started. But it kind of got me down before and after the games. It separated me from my teammates.
Milwaukee's Paul Molitor can relate. He hit in 39 straight games 4 seasons ago. The media wanted to know.
Now, more so with the cable networks and every game being televised and the national newspapers, it's going to be a daily grind if someone happens to approach that figure late in the season. He's going to find out what it's all about to have be in the spotlight day in and day out throughout the month of September.
Another of the aforementioned disadvantages to hitting 400 today, specialized pitching. Back in the 40s, starting pitchers were more likely to pitch late into a ball game, so a hitter was more familiar with the man on the mound. Today, hitters see 3, 4, sometimes 5 different pitchers in any one ball game.
Guys are throwing screwballs, fastballs, sliders, changeups, curveballs, knuckleballs. Impossible.
Kirby Puckett of the Twins could be considered a candidate for 400. And like Boggs, Puckett is not holding his breath.
315 hits, I think, approximately would do it. I'm not a mathematician or anything, but and I've hit 234 hits and I hit 356. So I'm just thinking, I don't walk that much. I think that year I made a walk 20 or 30 sometimes. So I don't think it takes a lot of walks. I really don't. I think that if you get 300 hits or more, I think it'd be done.
Well, if it takes 300 hits, forget it. 4-time National League hitting champ Tony Gwynn of the Padres has some more realistic thoughts.
The number of hits are going to have to be phenomenal if you like to play every day. And I like to play every day. And this year's the first year I think I got a legitimate crack at playing in every ball game. So, and I really want to do that. So, 162 games, 650 at bats, 265 hits. Hadn't been done in a long time, so I don't think I can do it.
So if not Gwynn or Puckett or Brett, then who? Boggs? Red Sox hit machine in a roundabout way has already done it.
They ran a course of 162 games from May of 85 to May of 86, and I hit 401 during that stretch. I mean, I didn't do it, granted, for 162 games, but from May of 85 to May of 86, I hit 401.
But over the course of one full season, it's Williams' mark thereafter.
Ted Williams was an unusual man. Bright, unique, dedicated, very dedicated to his hitting. To me, Williams could do anything he wanted to do, especially when it comes to using the bat.
The splendid Splinter was in a class all his own. Only time will tell if the fraternity of 400 hitters will someday add another member.
I think it will. I think somebody will eventually do it, but a lot of factors will come into play. Injuries, walks.
When you talk about records in the game that people feel will never be approached, or batting 400 or hitting 60 home runs, although they seem very unlikely in today's game, there's always that possibility.
You're talking about a guy hitting 400, impossible. A guy hitting 50-some straight, impossible. So, I mean, those are two records I think that really, just like Nolan Ryan's strikeout thing, impossible.
You know, if you hit 300, you're a superstar.
Yeah.
What are you if you hit 400? You're God. Then there's only one God, and that's Ted Williams.